What is crack-a-lackin', my YouTube brethren? Carter here, got another video for you. This is going to be kind of nothing cutting edge here. This knife has been out for quite a while, a couple of years, maybe even 3, I don't know. Like you know, I've been out of the loop, but this was one of the few purchases I made while I wasn't really in the knife community. It is the Reatta District 9. You've probably seen a lot of people talk about this knife. Doesn't really need a full review, but I want to talk about it anyways because I had a little bit of a love affair with this beauty. In fact, I still do. I really like this knife. Really like this knife. And there is a new version of the District knife coming out soon. District 9 knife coming out soon. Very excited about it. Can't wait to see what the features are. I've only seen a few sneak pics of it. Sneak peek pics. Say that 5 times quick. And I really like what I see. But anyways, we're here to talk about this beauty right here. This is, it falls into the overbuilt brick knife category. So if you're not into that kind of knife, this is not for you. Just move along. Don't give it another view. But if you are into that kind of knife, this is an excellent one. Reminds me a lot of something maybe Jake Hoback would do. I don't know why. I think it's the aesthetics of the handle, some of the milling that's being done on it, the angles, things like that. You may agree, you may not, but it always kind of reminded me of something Jake Hoback would do. S35 VN steel, very large blade, by the way. I went with the Tonto blade shape. There's a drop point, I believe, as well. I didn't like it as much. I just like the way this one looks. And I'll be honest, guys, when I'm picking knives, looks takes precedence. For my cutting needs, just about anything will do. So generally, I like what feels good, what looks good, and what is cool. But that's just me. But anyways, S35 VN stonewash blade. You can see the Reatta logo right there. Very sharp. The grinds, the machining is all excellent on here. Beautiful, beautiful work. It has bearings, you can see right there. I did that very gently because I don't want to bounce the table and move the camera around too much. I can already see it kind of bouncing around a little bit. Titanium handles. This version is anodized and then stonewashed. It's kind of a purpley color, but not obnoxiously purple. You can see the really cool pivot right there. Really like that collar around the pivot. It does add a lot of width right there. It's already a wide knife, and it does add a lot of width right there, but I think it looks really cool. Steel insert right there to prevent wear on the lock face. Over travel, titanium pocket clip, 3D sculpted. This is a gray anodized pocket clip to match the gray anodized back spacer right there. Some decorative or potentially useful jimping, although really, come on. This is mostly for decorative purposes. Really good flipping action. Locks up super tight. Ergonomics are top notch. All the usual stuff. Nice beefy handle to stick in your hand right there. Let's do a size comparison to the Commander. It's about the same size, so just under a 4-inch blade. I believe it's like, what, 9 inches overall, something like that. 8.5 inches over. Wow, I thought it was actually longer than that. 8.5 inches overall. And let's get a weight on this, because here is going to be the killer for a lot of you guys. This thing's heavy. It is not light. It is like a brick. In fact, there's times that I don't carry this simply because it's too heavy. 7.7 ounces. It's a heavy knife. Really heavy knife. But it's also a really cool knife. And used to retail for around 200 bucks. I think you can still get it for that. Oh, another detail here. You can see the screws all have stamping on them. They're not just, you know, knife shop standard screws. Everything on here, I don't want to say they're custom, but, you know, for all I know, oh, this is made in China. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. For all I know, maybe higher end screws in China have these stampings on it. It looks like it's maybe the size and the brand of the screw, I'm not quite sure, but it really works with this design overall because it has an industrial type feel to it. Look at the centering on there. Really, really nice. Now, I had another District 9 knife from also made in China, of much lesser quality. I have no idea if it's related to this. I don't know if the same company produced both knives. They used the same manufacturer. I have no idea. But it was quite a bit different. It was a double slab titanium kind of beefy knife, but completely different design. There is one small critique on this knife. You can see that the blade stops is the thumb studs right there, similar to a Strider knife. You can also use that to open the knife. But in the closed position, it doesn't have a pin in the back, and it doesn't have an internal track for a stop pin, for an internal stop pin. What it uses is the same thumb studs, or stop pins, whatever you want to call them, actually hits up against the lock bar, and that's what closes the blade. That's what keeps it closed. But because it's using the lock bar, it has some flex. You can see right there. It's sloppy. Now, it's not sloppy as in like it wiggles around, but you can push on it and it does squish down, and that's simply just the little bit of flex coming from this lock bar. They could have maybe tightened it up a little bit more with the stabilizer so that it didn't push in as much, but I really think it's kind of just indicative of the design. If you're using the lock bar to stop your blade in the closed position, you're always going to get a little bit of flex, and I know some people have complained about that. You know, it bothered me for about a half an hour, and then I moved on because it really doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect the flipping ability. Still flips amazing. Rock solid lockup in the open position, and that's all that really matters. But this is still an all-star knife in my collection. I really, really like it. In fact, I may carry it tomorrow. I like it that much. All right, guys. So that's it. Just a review on a knife that I have enjoyed. You've probably heard a lot about it already. Don't know if anybody's on the fence with picking one of these up. Like I said, it's not a new knife by any means, but I really like it. All right, guys. Later.